Okay, since you have joined in, let's continue. So
Yeah.
we have created the two cash flow statements. Now we will try to create something like the income statement and the statement of financial position. And this one is a very simple one. It doesn't have adjustments.
Mhm.
So we shall start. Here we shall introduce another column. So this column, let's call it a tag column.
Mhm.
Here we'll try to put where it falls, whether on the income statement or in the financial position. So if you look at bills payable, this one is accounts payable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Insurance charges, this one are expenses. We shall just name it insurance charges. Owner investment, this one is a share capital.
Mhm.
And earned revenue, this is a liability. Let's say other liabilities. A bank loan is a liability. We call it just bank loan. Then marketable security, it's an asset. We shall just call it marketable security.
Mhm.
Accrued depreciation, this is under PPE.
PP.
Yes. And then depreciation, we shall call it just depreciation because it's a.
Yeah.
Then
It's an
rent,
expense.
this rent is an income, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because of where it is, it's an income because it's on the debit side.
Mhm.
Yes, we call it just rent. And then outstanding salary, this is a liability, isn't it? You can
Yeah.
call it other liabilities. Machinery, this is PPE.
PP.
Prepaid rent, this is an asset. We shall just call it prepaid rent. Sundry debtors, these are our account receivables, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, accrued revenue. Accrued revenue is on a debit side, so it's an income.
It's an income.
Yes, we shall. Let's call it. It's not an income. It's an asset.
Yeah, it's an asset.
An asset. Other assets.
Assets.
Expired insurance. This is like an expense, isn't it? It's not a
Like an
liability. It's
expense.
an expense. So we shall just name it. It's an expired and not expired. Unexpired, this one is an other asset because it has not expired, isn't it?
Yeah.
Other asset. Vendor payable, this one is accounts payable. Drawing, this one is under, we shall just call it drawings because we will minus under equity.
Yeah.
Then equipment, this is PPE. Maintenance expense, let's say it's just maintenance expense. And then accrued expenses. Accrued expenses, this one is a liability. We shall other liabilities. We're just summarizing because we don't want to write all of them. Then
Yeah.
miscellaneous expenses. Let me use a simple one like other expenses. Okay, we have sales. This one is revenue. Purchases will fall under cost of goods. and then taxes will just remain taxes, isn't it?
Yes.
So we are prepare an income statement and a statement of financial position for the company using a spreadsheet.
Spreadsheet.
Yeah. So we will come back again over here. We adjust this so that we see how it is. Then we'll add another column also. So this is our column. It will be called net balance. Let me write properly. So our net balance, it will be equals to debit minus credit, isn't it? Control
Yeah.
enter. Then you when you see this plus a black, you see this one is a big plus. When you come here and you see this plus, then you double click and then it fills down automatically. It finishes. So we shall start with the income statement. Let us create here so that we don't have to go up and down. I'll copy this. Let me say limited. If we want to add a space, because here we have put together a lot, we can control space. Leave that alone. Like shift, control plus shift plus sign. The shift is to make the sign plus instead of is equals, isn't it? And then we have a statement of profit and loss. We are never given the year, unfortunately. So we shall start with items that are of the income statement. The first one here we have revenue.
Revenue.
I like to just do this and control C instead of writing again. Control V.
Yeah.
And I'll do this. Control bold so that you know where it starts. Merge and center. Even also this one, the above one. Merge and center.
Yeah.
We shall start there with and then we also have, so after there we shall go to gross profit, isn't it? After gross profit, we have other expenses.
Expense.
Yes, control C. The goodness of copying directories, you can't mess with the spelling. I'll show you how if you mess with the spellings, you can't get it. Then we shall go to maintenance expense, control C, control V, and property, other assets, prepaid rent. No, this rent, our rent here, it's an income, isn't it? So
It's
we
an
shall,
income.
yes, it's an income. Control X, we at least take this one down, and then we add in our rent. Control C, Control V. Then we also have depreciation. Control C, Control V. What else do we have? We also have insurance charges. Control C, Control V. After there, we shall have now earnings before interest and tax. Earnings before interest and tax, isn't it? Then we shall have our tax. Our tax was down here. Taxes. Control C, Control V. Then profit after tax, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we will want to automate this thing as it does it automatically. So what we'll do, we will just create in Like for our gross profit, let me do this control bolt. It will be alt equals the sum, not the sum going up. It will be the sum of these two. Control enter, and then our earnings before tax, control bolt. It will be equals to our gross profit minus sum, the sum of
rent, depreciation, other expenses, maintenance, and insurance.
Yes, but remember our rent is yes,
The
I
rent is
forgot.
income.
Yes, it's income, but then our taxes. Then here it will be equals our earnings before minus tax plus, not minus, because we are doing automation of it. So it will be bringing negative where it is control bolt. So we will come here under our revenue equals. We introduce now a function. This function is very popular in creating this income statement and statement of financial position. And it will be sum if. We have some if and some if. So our sum if we will be asked our range. Our range is where we are going to look for the value. So it will be under column D. No, it's not taking column D properly because of the table. Let me just take it direct like this. It will be under column D, isn't it? And then I want to lock this one, so I'll press F4 so that it doesn't move. Yes, you press F4 so it doesn't move. Our criteria we will be looking for the revenue. This one I'll not press F4 because I want it when I drag down, it changes, isn't it? Comma.
Yes.
Our sum range, it will be our balance, our net balance.
Yeah.
That's our sum range. And then I want to press F4, then I close the parenthesis. So after that, I control enter. You see it has brought a negative. So we shall put a negative in front of our formula. Negative, control enter, so that it brings a positive. And when we drag this one down, you see, the cost of sale is it's an expense, it will be a negative. That's why we were adding, we were not subtracting, because this one will be already
it is already a negative.
Yes. So then we copy that, control C. Then when we come here down, I want you to press control alt and V. It brings this paste special, and I'll just copy the formulas alone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. The formula above. And I'll drag it down. I also copy the last one, control C, control V. You see how it's coming along?
Yeah.
Let me see. Here we made a small error here.
An error there.
Yes, we list instead of adding, because the expenses are already negative, so we add them. Yes, I will get something like a negative. To put the borders, alt HBP. Even here, alt HBP. Even here on top, alt HBP.
Then this rent was an income. Was it supposed to be positive?
Let me see. Actually, it was an asset. It was an income.
Yeah.
And it's not an income. We are confusing. You know why it has been brought here negative? Because it's an expense. Like
it's an expense.
Yes, as you know, the trial balance.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
The expenses are on the debit side plus
On the
the
debit.
assets and
Yeah,
liabilities and is it liabilities and what?
and equity.
Yes, and income. Not equity
Yeah,
and income are on the credit side. Like if you see like for sales, we had sales somewhere. You
yeah,
see sales it's on the
yeah.
credit side and purchases it's on debit side. So our rent here is just
An expense.
expense. Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes. Okay, we shall control C. We shall also copy that again and paste it here. Control V. Statement of financial position. I want to make that bold and I merge them so that it doesn't disturb the others.
Mhm.
So we shall start with the assets,
Current assets.
Alt H2, assets. Under assets, we always start with current assets. So we shall be looking for current assets in our tag column.
Mhm.
Marketable security, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
We also have prepaid rent.
We paid rent. Yeah.
We also have account
Others.
receivable.
Yeah, yeah,
We also have other assets.
yeah.
I just take one.
Mhm.
Yes, I think we have finished our
Yeah,
current assets, isn't it?
yeah,
So it will
yeah.
be control board, total current assets. It is stretching a lot, but so then we go to the non-current assets where we have PPE, isn't it?
Mhm. Yeah.
Am I seeing any other? Is there any other? There is no other, there is just
No.
PPE. And you remember accumulated depreciation, we put it under
Mhm.
PPE, isn't it?
Yeah,
Even machinery
yeah,
under PPE,
yeah,
equipment under PPE.
yeah.
Yeah. Then there is no other current, non-current assets. So then we go to equity and total assets in first, total assets.
Mhm.
From there, we go to equity and liability. We shall start with the current liabilities. I shall go direct control this plus control V.
Mhm.
Other liabilities,
Other
control
liability.
C, control V. And then bank
Bank
loan is
loan.
an non-current liability. Rent,
Mhm.
other liabilities, we have already taken that one. Prepaid rent, accrued account receivable, accounts payable, we have already taken that. Drawings,
Yeah.
maintenance, and other liabilities, we have already taken that.
It's
There is
done.
no other. Then, so control
Yeah.
board, total current liabilities. And then we go to the non-current liabilities where we have bank loan, isn't it?
Yes.
Control C, control V. That's it, isn't it? There is no
Yes.
other, there is no other. Then control board, total, non-current liability. Then from there we go to equity. We have our equity, we have the share capital,
Share
control
capital.
C,
Yeah.
control V. And we shall have our, also, we don't have a retain earnings.
Yeah,
We shall
there is
have
no
our
retain
drawings,
earnings. Drawings
Control
is there.
C, Control V. So we shall bring here our net loss, isn't it?
Mhm. Yes.
So we shall also do the same thing we did there. We shall start with the marketable security here, equals
Yeah.
sum if
So it's
tab. Our range, a range is where we want to look for the value. So we want to look the value here, isn't it?
yeah. Yeah.
Wait. I want to press F4 to lock it. As you can see above here, it's locked, fully locked. The dollar signs can show that, comma. A criteria is the what
Marketable
you are looking
security.
for, and then the sum range. Where is the sum? The sum you are getting, you are getting the sum from net balance.
Balance.
Control F4, and then I close the brackets, Control Enter. So I just drag it along. The problem here, we had not automated this thing. So here it will be equals sum, the above sum, Control Enter, Control Bolt. Then we shall copy here, Control C. Then we come here, Control Alt V. You paste the formula. Okay. And then here it will be the same, equals to this above, Control Enter Bolt. And then total assets equals to this one, Shift plus this one, Control Enter. Then now when you come to liabilities and equity, our formula, we shall use like the formula we used in the statement of,
Statement of cash flows.
yes, Control C, in the statement of profit and loss. Because when we come this direct, it will be a negative, isn't it? So we'll have to introduce a negative here in front so as it becomes a positive.
Yeah.
And this one is in bold. Let me do this. You can take the whole thing and do Alt HBU. That's the double border.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so we shall just drag it along with it here. Here, Alt equals, it's jumping a lot. We just want these two. Control Enter, Control Bolt. Then we copy again, Control C, Control V. You can just put it direct. Control V, Control V. And now you come to realize, let me take this one, equals this one. No, equal to this one. Control Enter, we had forgotten Bolt. You remember our net loss now here, we shall know it's not in the formula. So we shall just put equals, and then we take our net loss from from that statement. Then we come to total equity equals sum. We add all this. Sorry, I had not opened the bracket. Sum tab equals sum. We put a tab to open the bracket. We add all this first. Control Enter, Control Bolt. So now total equity and liabilities equals, it will be current plus this one plus the equity. Yes. Then Control Bolt, Control Bolt. Where is it? Control Bolt, and then I'll do an Alt HBU. Alt HBU. Yeah. Even this one is Bolt. Control Bolt. Yeah. It's just, that one was a very simple one. It had no adjustments. And even if the adjustments were there, actually that is the concept. Preparing financial statements, especially income statement and statement of financial position. The formula we'll be using sum if, or if you advance. Now where we are coming here, the advanced one. I don't know if we can schedule, because this one takes a lot of time. I want us to do the three statement financial modeling, and when we meet, you just schedule with me. I'm really flexible. We can schedule, and we finish on this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I don't know when. Okay.
Can we do or tomorrow? The problem tomorrow, I might be no, tomorrow I might be at home early.
Yes.
Then maybe we can do same time.
Okay, no problem. I shall see out tomorrow how it goes, because tomorrow at 8 we also have a class. Let's say answer three statement dynamic. I won't write the whole thing dynamic. So we come to here. We shall start with the income statement. We have been given assumptions. Like if you, let me highlight this. When you see this one here, these are the assumption of the income statement. Control C.
Income statements. Yeah.
Yes. Let me put them here so that we don't struggle a lot. And here we've been given, like I had forgotten, here we have years, control board, 2022, tab 2023, control enter board. When I want it to fill a series, I take this way. I have brought up to 2026. So we shall start our income statement. Let's just call our company ABC Limited. Statement of profit and loss for the year. So we have all these years. Control C, Control V. We shall start with the revenue. Equals, so from our assumptions, like you know, this three statement dynamic modeling also touches on forecasting. The concept is similar with forecasting. So we have been told here caps sold is 5,000, isn't it?
Yeah.
Times average price per cap 5. Control enter. We get those that is the revenue. We drag along, and there is no problem here. It's just that the widths are small. Yeah. Then we have next year we have discount, isn't it? So the discount allowed discount. Remember, this discount is 5% of the revenue, isn't it? And we want it to be in a negative form, so it will be -5. This one, F times our revenue. And now I want to lock this, but I don't want to lock it fully. I just want to lock the 5 so that it doesn't go away from 5. So I press F4, I press F4 again. When you look here, our dollar sign is in front of 5. So it has locked only 5, but it can move to K that way. So when I do this, it moves to K. So we get our net revenue. Alt equals, and here you be very careful because it has taken even the year. You reduce it. Yeah. Control enter. Control Bolt. Alt HBP, and I'll drag it along. We have like 10 minutes or so. I think we will be done.
Mhm.
Yeah. Then we go to cost of goods sold. That is the cost of goods sold. We have purchases or raw materials. We have been told our raw materials is 30% of our revenue. So equal negative this 30% F times our revenue. And I want to log 5. I'll press F4 again. Then I'll press Control, Enter. Then we go to overheads. I start with a negative 7% times this one, F4, I log 5 only. I go to transaction cost equals negative because I want now to fast at least times this one. I log also 5, Control Enter. After that one, I'll get the gross profit. Control board, gross profit. Before gross profit, Control X, Control V, total COGS. So equals sum. You press tab button to open the brackets. You add them. You control bolt them. And then our gross profit equals 23 plus this. Control Enter, Control bolt. And now this is the advantage with Excel. I can just do this, the first column alone, provided I'm looking properly, and I just drag along. So we go to operating expense. We have labor, marketing, other expenses. So for labor, we have paid for good and total operating expenses equals, I can just add before even provided I'm keen from starting from labor. You see, when you forget to put the tab button, it doesn't open the bracket, so it can't add. Control Enter, Control bolt. Then I'll just do the same here. Equals. So check this one out. Negative. This one. And I don't want to lock it. Times this one. And I'm locking only 5, isn't it? Control Enter. Then I'll drag here along. You see, this one is 1250, 1250 because this one is 5 and 5%. You see, it has taken the whole thing down. Then I'll come to earnings before interest and tax equals. It will be our 14 shift plus our 62. Then we have our corporate tax. Let me just call it tax tab equals negative this one times our earnings before tax. Control Enter, isn't it? So what I'll do, I'll select all this. No, I have not finished. Now our PAT equals this one shift plus this one. Control bolt Alt HBU. Though it's even this one, I want to put it in Alt HBP. Then this one, Alt HBP, so that it goes once and for all. I select now all this.
Yeah.
I'll come here down the right bottom corner. Then when it becomes a plus, a black plus, I drag it this way along. You see, now we have
Yes.
already finished the income statement. We are like
Yes.
having 4 minutes, and we always run our classes on a 1 hour basis.
Yeah.
So I don't know what, like, can we just finish on, because the timer is up, we only have 4 minutes left. Can we also do a
Yeah.
balance sheet, or we start with it tomorrow, then we finish on this one,
Can we do the balance sheet?
So if we are doing the
Or
balance sheet, we log in again, isn't it? Because we only have 3 minutes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me.
Okay. Can we log in again?
Yes, let me stop the video and we log in again.
Yeah.